Welcome back to the KB Money Show. It's your boy KB, and I have my co-host, Mr. Ivy League, kicking it in Cape Cod.
Oh yeah, I got my cake. Yeah.
Yep. Episode number 8.
Wow.
How you doing, man? What's going on? I think this number 8. Yeah, man. We just locked in, man. We just recording at this point. We just
Right.
keep running the numbers up, one
That's it,
episode at a time. But how you doing, man? How's your week been?
man. I had a really good week. I I've been looking to get my health more and more taken care of. I set a dentist appointment and I actually attended it. I think my last dentist appointment was in 2023, and I was back in Gulfport, and
Mm.
that my mom had set up, and so I downloaded this app that helps you manage your health appointments. It helps you set up doctors, dentists, therapy, like all in one portal. And so I use that to I've set up therapy through it. I've set up I couldn't find a doctor through it because and for some reason in Boston the doctors are very busy, very backed up. And so
Really?
I had to make a couple calls, and they said, "No, call this clinic. No, call this clinic." And so I found someone, no, I tracked someone down. But
Okay.
for this week though, it was really good. I went to the dentist. It's a little scary when you haven't been in a while. You're like, man, like, I'm about to have 50 cavities, 2 root canals. Like, let me just go ahead and go so I can
Bruh.
put this out the way. Cause last time I went, that's what it was. Like that's probably why I hadn't been in so long. Like,
Ooh,
I
hey, look, man.
was
Man, I got 3 wisdom teeth pulled. Your boy was out the game. I was out of there. Man, wifey had to take care of you, boy, man. Oof. Man, teeth, like things that's going like major things that's going on with your teeth. You kind of take it for granted because they're smaller, but it's almost like worse than an ankle, like you twisting your ankle or like injuring your back. Like it's
yeah.
debilitating in that way. Like I remember, like when I got my 3 wisdom teeth pulled, this is how I had to sleep, and I was doped up. Like, but you can feel it. Like you can't move your head or nothing. Like it's like I couldn't lay down because when I laid on my side, the pain was so bad. I had to sleep like this. Like I was on the couch and I had to sleep like this. Like literally sitting up, and so I had a neck pillow. Like when you fly, you had a neck pillows. I had a
Yeah.
neck pillow, and your boy was like this. And so imagine trying to sleep like that. You're not sleeping.
I
That's the
mean,
point.
yeah.
Ooh, we.
You're on a
Anyway,
flight. Man.
struggling,
Nah.
struggling.
And teeth ain't no joke, man. Shoot, I remember I had a relative come out the country because I don't, medicine is different in different countries, but we take stuff like
Yeah.
gel for granted, stuff, you put on real quick. They didn't have that in their country, so they had toothache. They thought it was over with. Like, we gotta go to the doctor, the dentist. Nah, we got them some Orajel real quick. They was like, "What is this? Like, how is this legal? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Who did y'all go to for this?" But no. Long story short, I went to the dentist, and they said, "No, Mr. Barney, everything looks to be in good order. Just make sure that you keep coming up to us, because of course, there was like a little build up. They said, Keanu, since it's been so long, you haven't got a cleaning in a while, and it doesn't matter. I ain't gonna get deep, but if for some reason it don't matter how hard you scrub. You can be in the bathroom all day scrubbing, flossing as hard as you want to, but you are never going to be able to get the plaque off the way that they can, because they just got different utensils and different tools, and they know what to look for. They know how to do it. So we ain't gonna get deep. This is just the introduction. We just talking about how our week went, but I think that don't let
Yeah,
that
man,
stop
you almost went deep. You almost went deep on me. I was like, oh man, that's a whole
you.
okay.
That's the topic. But not for real. They said, Mr. Barney, make sure that you keep coming in, but otherwise you're doing a good job flossing, you're doing a good job maintaining. But just I think my message to you guys is just take care of yourself. Don't put your health last, because while you have a choice to, what I'm saying? Because prioritize yourself while you can. And so my week went pretty good. Great dentist visit, not a lot of pain after, and so that's always a good thing. Otherwise, work's going good, family's going good. My
Money, money. What we looking like on the emergency fund? Any progress there? Because we can't stay in the emergency fund status because we got to get the financial freedom, which means it's moving past that. But the anchor and the foundation is having an emergency fund. So how we trending? What we looking like?
I was able to put about $100 in towards the emergency fund this payday. I got a big expense coming up, so I'm having to put some money towards that. But that'll be cleared up by the end of February.
Yeah. So it sounds like a sinking fund that you gotta do a slight pivot for a quick sinking fund because you got something you need to account for.
Yeah, something coming up, but I still on track for the big goal of 15K by June. That's gonna happen. We can't let that slip.
Okay. 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 Bet. Okay, now for me, man, we on the same journey. Maybe I'm rubbing off on you, but for me on the health side, your boy is I just had my week 4 check-in with my coach, my fitness coach. We tracking macros heavy every day. We weighing in every day. And if y'all don't know, it's macronutrients, protein, fats, carbs, calories. So like counting it. And so I have a daily target. And so I have to hit that every day, but also record it. And the numbers don't lie. And so I have to, so every week I have to send in my macros. I have to send in my weight. I have to send in my workouts. Did I actually execute my workouts? And not only did I execute my workouts, am I improving on my workouts? And then pictures. And hey, the picture don't lie either. And so I send all that in on every Wednesday morning. And then I just wait for him to get back with me after he review everything. And then we make some tweaks or we don't. Hey, run the play again. It's the coach, it's like, hey, run the play. And so I get back on the field, run the play. So the beautiful part is the last 2 weeks, they say, hey, everything looks good. You're still coming down. Your boy almost down 10 pounds in counting. And I feel good. And the one thing that I'm enjoying about this process, yeah, weight coming down, all that, but it's the discipline. Because for me, I can only speak for me, when I'm laser focused and locked in with my health, it's like other areas of my life raise up. It starts permeating to other areas in my life, and those become extremely disciplined as well. And maybe I was already disciplined in the area, but it's like I get more laser focused in a way where everything I touch turn to gold, or things just start coming to me, or like it's hard to explain. But in sports, it's like when you shoot that three, and it don't matter how it's coming off your hand. It's like they call it in the zone. Like, man, he on fire in the zone. And so it's that feeling that you start to get. And I'm really starting to get that feeling. And yeah, it's good. It's really good. The men's group, the not men, is going really well too. Some life changing information, man. It's transformative, which is permeating over to the financial side as well. And so more details to come there. Um, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm in the hill country right now, enjoying some friends, family, but we still got to record. We still got to bring y'all the content, right? So enjoying some good friends that we get to see once or twice a year, spend good time with them, just good in good company, and get out of your normal regular environment. And it's a good way because we all pushing, we all working, uh, and you just in your daily routine doing the same thing over and over. And it's a good way to step back, recharge, get energized around good people, and then you charged up when you go back, right? And so that's why it's good to do quarterly things or whatever, maybe it's not to go see friends, but maybe it's you and your wife or significant other, or maybe it's just good friends that's of like minds where y'all could just, I mean, hey, or it might even be you by yourself where you go and do something. It don't have to be something extravagant where it costs a lot of money, especially if you're on a journey, you got emergency fund, you're trying to say like whatever that thing looks like, but it's just that thing where you feel good and recharged when you do it and doing it on a regular cadence. So a lot of times people think that you have to spend a lot of money to do resets. And you don't. But when you do have money, it does help. The experience can be elevated. Yeah, but yeah, man, on the money front, I'm readjusting my target. I'm no longer focusing on I'm no longer focusing on paying off the mortgage anymore, just because I've gotten around some men who are uh multimillionaires, and they've been coaching me up, and I'm actually a lot more excited for my new target that I have. And it's going to move the needle beyond, and the house being paid off, that's just going to be a byproduct. And so it's just a readjustment on my new target, and some more to come on that, in which it also has provided inspiration on a slight direction pivot on the channel's content. So y'all will see that coming. And so y'all will probably notice a slow change in direction of where we're going. So more to come there. We're not gonna reveal it. We're gonna have a teaser, and then you just got to tune in to see the new direction on what we're gonna be doing. But we still gonna be us. We still gonna bring our authentic perspective. We're not perfect. We people. We on a journey as well, and that's what it's gonna be. Okay, so without further ado, because bro almost went deep on us. Where I like, bro, man, I'm gonna have to throw out what we were gonna talk about. Bro came in so hard, but now we gonna stick to what we was gonna talk about. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna get ready to cue everything up. But the first thing that we're gonna talk about, let me cue it up first, and then I will break it down for us.
Man, I'm telling you though, it was so good to get that clean bill of health. Because I had to get a root canal 2 years ago.
Ooh,
Wow, it was quite the experience.
man, man, that's rough.
I said this is gonna be my last one. This is my first and last. I'm not letting this happen again. It's a lesson though. Some lessons are more expensive than others, but it was just a lesson.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. So sharing my screen now. You see the screen?
Yep, I can see it.
The 8 biggest financial mistakes men make. But I'm gonna preface it. It says men, but I'm gonna say, and it can be women and just people in general, right? So I'm gonna high point it real quick. I found this. Your boy always be digging in the archive trying to find, I'm always digging in the archive looking like, what are some of those things that impact my people, man, that so I can talk to them so they can be aware.
Mhm.
One, avoid these at all costs. One, marrying wrong. Two, being uninsured. Three, impulsive spending. Four, living above your means. Five, this you, bro, having no emergency fund. That's what you focus on. Six, taking on way too much debt.
Mm.
Seven, leasing new cars every 3 years. Yeah, that's insane. Eight, depending on one income stream. Those are the
Mm.
8 biggest financial mistakes.
Wow.
So when you hear that, what where do your mind go? And we can go one by one, but I just wanted to hit it real quick, and then I'll repeat them, but I just wanted us to be back on the screen so we can talk through them, and you know, um, just really think about that, man. So one, so just to recap, so the eight biggest financial mistakes. The first one, marrying wrong.
Wow. So that's funny. I know me and you got a unique perspective. Not unique, but we're both married, so we're on the other side of it to speak of. But man, I think that I like the message in terms of you do be intentional, be strategic with marriage. it's not treated as permanently as it should be. I think it's not.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And so it's a business relationship as well. Like you're melding you're meshing two people, and y'all are going to become one, but it's going to be one with two people giving 100%, not 50-50, not 60-40, but it's got to be 200%. And so you got to make sure that both of y'all at y'all's 100% are going in the same direction or aligned. And if that's not the case financially, it's not going to be a pretty sight. And if for other reasons is y'all aren't aligned and the marriage has to come to an end, because everybody comes into it all happy and joyous, but now when it comes time to break it off, it's easy to enter a relationship amicably. It's hard to end one amicably and on the same page. And yeah, that's my friend, but we're just gonna go our separate paths and split the money 50-50. It can get real ugly real quick if you're going without a plan. And it's yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're sharing your perspective, so I'm gonna hit you with my perspective. And when they say, "I wish I would have knew this coming into it," well, you know it on a logical level, on a textbook level, but not like a deep, deep level. It's a marriage is spiritual. You said a business, but it's spiritual. It's a commitment. It's a covenant. And you coming together as one. And so one of the first things that is really important to understand is really understanding what is a marriage and making sure you understand the dynamics of the roles, like the expectations, the is it two head of the houses? Is it like even just something? Is it two head of the house? Does she think she the head of the house, or do you think you the head of the house? Um, what is going to be your guiding light? Like, what principles are you following that y'all are agreeing upon? Is it biblical principles? Is it your own that you came up with? Is
Right.
it and y'all both have y'all different versions of what y'all made up with and y'all haven't communicated it with each other? Like, but what is the base? What is the foundation? Because with the foundation, it's not going to, in its foundational principles, it's not going to change. So even if the man start veering off, creating his own this is it in alignment with the principles that y'all agreed upon? And so y'all both have something that y'all can refer back to and say, no, you're getting away from what the principles are. All right. And for me, everyone has their own thing, but as men, we're the head of the household. We're supposed to be the covering. We're supposed to be the protector. And with all of that, does your wife know that? Does your wife agree with that? Do you agree with it? Are you stepping up? Are you leaning in? Are you being who you need to be to even for your wife to feel comfortable under your protection, under your guidance, under your leadership? Are you a terrible leader to where it's like no one probably should be following you? And so there's a lot that needs to be flushed out, and to be thought about, and which could lead to a financial disaster when if you're not a good leader, ain't nobody following nobody someone that ain't no good leader. Like you're not about to walk me off no cliff. You're not about to walk me into financial ruin. And so those are the real conversations we have to have as well. Like, are you being the best version of yourself? And we not no one's perfect, but like, are you where you are today? Do you have guidance? Do you have great counseling? Do you have wise counsel in your circle helping you to develop into manhood so your wife can feel comfortable under your leadership, or are you just making a whole bunch of terrible decisions? So these are the real, and I'm focusing on the men because I'm a man. Like I can't tell a woman what a woman need to do. Like we could talk about what it says in the Bible and the principles and all that, but I can only focus on the men part. Like, and so that's one. Um, Two. being uninsured.
Mm,
That was pretty straightforward. We don't have to spend a lot of time there. Bro, you talked about healthcare. You don't have no health insurance, as for one. And then you have to, like, those medical bills, they start accumulating, they start jumping up quick, and you upside down before you know it. Car insurance. Like, you mess around, have one accident, you can mess around and go in debt upside down if you borrowed on a car and you don't have gap insurance, or I'm just different types of insurance,
mm.
for coverage, in the event that can help with anything that, if you're not paying deductibles, you're at risk, and putting yourself at risk. And of course, life insurance. And if you're using life insurance, you're up out of here, right? Like, and then you leaving your spouse and or your family in a not so great financial situation. And it's just not responsible.
It's definitely, we always liken the game of money to a game, like football. And there's football, there's offense, defense. I think that the best teams have a great defense. We saw what the Eagles just did, just off their defense. They were smacking Mahomes around. So if your defense is fire,
Man,
your offense only got to do so much. Hey, I throw one little lob. Now we look like world beaters because the defense handled it lightweight. But okay, so on a financial tip, if you can come in and make sure, like kind of like what you talked about, make sure that you're just being introduced to new ideas, new concepts of financial defense that work for you. So are you somebody who needs to ensure your income potential? You know what I'm saying? Are you somebody who needs to think about things like that? Maybe it makes sense for you, maybe it doesn't, but just think about things like that, and make sure that you're protected in different scenarios. Do you do Uber? Are you a DoorDash driver? Do you have proper insurance? And like one small example, we got a rental car. We've got a rental car twice in the past couple months, but both times we got the insurance. Maybe in the past I might not have got it. I might be like, man, I don't need that. But I was like, you know what? What's 30 to 40 bucks versus this person's telling me the whole car is covered. I really don't have the whole car in my bank account. We just talked about how I'm trying to get to 15K at the beginning. I don't have this car might be worth 50,000. So it's just it didn't take a rock me. I need to pull out my notepad and start doing the math to figure out I should get this insurance. And come to find out, I was going from New York to Boston. Well, I went to New York and then came back to Boston. The drive there, super smooth. The drive back, winter storm, you can't see the lanes, one of those type of drives. And so I don't know how I wind up driving in these scenarios, but just imagine I mess around and I'm locked in and focused, but just imagine I mess around and slide and hit another car or hit a tree and I don't have insurance. I don't have no one to blame in that scenario but myself in that case. I would have been the one who was stingy and didn't get the insurance.
well, hopefully you had car insurance, because then your deductible was going to pay for that. But I got a quick story for you on that, since you went in the direction of rentals. So before I moved to Houston, I flew to Houston to check out the scene, see if I was, interested, and I got a rental. Well, I was navigating, and if you've ever been to Houston, they have feeder roads. So like when you exit, you get up, feeder roads. Well, I was getting ready to miss my turn.
Mm.
You know how you're on the freeway or the interstate and you see your turn and you make a last minute try to swing over.
Yeah.
Well, I made a last minute swing over, like swung over, and I didn't realize it was like, how you see some people hurry up and exit and they just miss like the pop in the curve or whatever. Well, I didn't miss it. Your boy hit that thing. Boom.
Mm.
Tire went flat instantly. And it bent up the rim. It tore it up. And it had a little fender uh damage as well. Like the well, like where the wheel, the wheel is, it had a little damage in there too. Guess
Right.
what, y'all? Your boy had that full cut. Your boy had that what they call it, that damage waiver.
Yeah. Wow.
Man, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, look, this car, like something's going on with this car. Something is wrong with the
So,
car. And so I had somebody come pick me up. they took me to the rental spot. They took me to the rental spot. Like I told them where the car was, whatever. They when they picked it up, I got a new one. I was like, hey, sorry about that. But and then I got the new one, I was gone. And so like otherwise I'd have had to use my insurance and my deductible and all of that. But I said all that to say the fact that you said that, like, it instantly made me think about that. And ever since then, I've always had insurance. And to be honest, it's just a peace of mind. Like I've had to run a car so many times and it was fine, but I just prefer to just get it, have a peace of mind. So if somebody hit it, open it up, ding it, whatever, like
Yeah,
I'm good. Like I don't have to think about all that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So number three, impulsive spending. That's easy to do. We get so much advertisement every single day, and also cookies. The cookies, every time you're opting into cookies and all of that, what's happening, and then also things that you're searching. Like so then when you come back on your phone, you're on Google, things are popping up. You get on websites, things are popping up that you may have searched. And you're and so or you might see something on TV. Somebody might mention something
Yeah.
and it's not in the budget, but you buy it anyway. And it's just like you get it. Like you get it, or you out, you say, you know what? Man, I need to treat myself.
Yeah.
But it ain't in the budget, but you do it anyway, and then you may float it on your credit card and you just tell yourself, oh, I'll get it next time. Impulsive spending.
Man, it's the part of budgeting and financial responsibility that's not sexy. It's just the consistent parts of, like you said, just paying it off every month, regardless. And part of paying it off every month is not running it up every month either, because you can't pay off with what money you don't have. So just help yourself out and try to stay lean. Stay
Yeah.
down until you come up.
Which leads to number four, living above your means.
See.
Eight, one of the financial mistakes is living above your means. You riding in the whip, you have no business riding in. You make 50K, 60K, and you driving in a $75,000 car or a $60,000 car. It's more than your salary. Like, process that. It's more than your net worth. Process that.
Mm, mm,
It just puts it in context, right? But no one says like no one says that to you before you make that decision. It's usually afterwards that you're reflecting where you're like, dang, I did do that. Like, so imagine someone saying that to you before you make that purchase. More than likely, you got your mind made up. You're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna justify yourself into it anyway. But like, but just think about that. Like, am I buying my net worth right now?
mm.
Am I or am I buying something and it's more than my salary? That's wild. That's wild. And it's not like an asset like a home or like a rental property or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like something that's an asset, right? Like you don't have to view an asset in that way, but like liability, you absolutely should be thinking about that like that. Well, it should be a thought. It could consider it for it to be a thought the next time that you're in that situation, because you can get car fever. You get in there, you sit in there and it'd be like, ooh, you you sit in there, you smelling it, it's brand new, it ain't got no miles on it. You
Yeah.
like it feel good. And it don't matter how good you are with budgeting. And like when me and my wife, we go, man, it was a time my wife, she was trying to talk to me. She was like, well, I mean, we could just see how much they'll give you for your car. And I was thinking, no, we can't. I was like, well, that's how I start. Well, let's just see.
Yeah.
And it's like we're not gonna see nothing. I just wanted to see how I feel, just wanted to see, future goals. I'm like, or like so we'll look at each other like if we do go now, like, okay, we're not buying anything.
Yeah.
We good? ready, set, break. Then we going, you know.
Man, it's funny. I kind of got a little funny story because you can go in there with no intention of buying and still wind up
Zero.
with a crazy experience. Like me and my brother-in-law, he loves cars. So we went to in Boston they got like a BMW. I think they have BMW, Land Rover and all that, Range Rover and all that. Porsche. I mean, I think it's a couple others that I might be missing, but they have like a little strip right there that one person owns. And so we just walked in one day, and we just sitting in the cars and whatnot, like, oh, this is nice, this is nice. And so we walked in one of the buildings, and so we already just kind of had a default, like we're not buying nothing, we really can't. We won't, but we still want to look around because it's cool. They just let you look around, let you do all that. And so long story short, we went into one of them and we asked one of the ladies at the front desk. We said, "Hey, do y'all have more cars upstairs that we can see?" And she was like, "Yeah, just go that way. Go that way." And so we went that way, and we get stopped. This person's like, "Hey, you can't go that way without someone accompanying you." And we was like, "Okay." Um, but he was on a phone, and so we was kind of like, that's confusing though. We thought maybe he was confused or something, or had us confused with somebody else. But long story short, we kept going that way, and we ended up getting an escort up to like this secret area that like no one else is going up to, and we're seeing like their warehouse, the inventory, and we back there with no intention at all to buy, but still like they're back there like the same guy ended up coming like, "Hey man, no, I was saying like I'll take you up there. Just give me a second. Like I'll go with you." And so we seeing the cars that other people aren't seeing. But yeah, man, it's that's a scary place to be if you got some loose money to hanging around. That's a scary place to be, man. Sheesh,
Yeah. Number five, having no emergency fund.
it's not a good feeling.
That's a financial mistake. And that could take you into the negative, into infinity. And they just run it, keep counting negative, negative, negative. Number six, taking on way too much debt.
Mm.
Credit card debt, student loan debt, car debt, any other debt, emotional debt, aka emotional baggage. That's a debt too, because that's a liability.
Physical debt. That's donuts.
This
You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
man, that's okay, yeah, okay. So with your health, man, see, Ivy League, man, you know what I'm saying? So so that donut is a liability to your body.
Yeah.
That chicken breast is an asset to your body with the protein. Got
Hmm.
it. Okay. I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah. Okay. 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 Seven, leasing new cars every 3 years.
Mm.
And I'll add on. I'll add on. I'll add an extra one. Buying a financing a car, you pay it off, and you immediately go get another car. Like as soon as you finish paying off the one that you have.
I hear that a lot.
That is a financial mistake. Huge financial mistake.
The
And I'm and
upgrade.
oh, here's the other lie. Here's the other lie. So it's paid off, right? You enjoying it, it's paid off. And the majority of the time, as you was making payments, like wasn't too much going on. Your oil change the tires, little stuff. Maintenance. That's what they call you have a car, it's maintenance.
Right.
Some come up, let's just say it's a starter. Man, it's starting to break down. And it's probably cheaper to go and get something else because by the time I keep paying for these repairs, it's gonna be worth more than the car.
Yeah.
It's a lie. You're telling yourself a lie. But what you're doing is you're justifying yourself into payments for the next 5 to 7 years.
Mm.
Especially if you're buying a vehicle that's again, going back to the income, it's equal or greater than your income. And heck, even if you make six figures or whatever, it's you're still probably you're not gonna pay cash. So more than likely, well, most people aren't gonna pay cash or do not pay cash for their vehicles. So you're gonna be paying you're about to make a 5 to 7 year decision off you being slightly inconvenienced to go get your vehicle repaired. How do I know? I did it. I did it. And I had my home girl D. We still tight to this day. Me and my wife, we went to go visit them not too long ago because they had a baby shower in North Carolina, in Charlotte. Um, and she told me, she was like, don't get no car. Like, don't get that car.
Yeah.
Now, this was it's like 14 or 20. She like, you still don't need to go get the car, just get it fixed. And I'm like I was lying to myself and I did it. And
Mm.
so that was a financial mistake. That was a financial mistake because I had the car. I just needed to get it repaired real quick. It just seemed like it's stuff keep happening. That was dumb. Dumb. So I'm speaking from experience. Last but not least, a financial mistake, a big financial mistake, depending on one income stream. Mm. A lot of people are feeling it right now who may be impacted by just the changing of things in the government. They're starting to reduce jobs there, or in the private sector where publicly traded companies or companies that aren't public are laying off, reducing, more cost efficient, become more cost efficient, or whatever their reasoning is. It's their company. They have to be beholden to the shareholders, or um, but one stream of income, and you hadn't been preparing financially, it could be financially devastating. So that's a huge mistake. And heck, even if you were preparing all of that preparation and then you lose that one income stream, you still are in a tough financial spot if you don't hurry up and get back out there. And so you're in a financial vulnerable position. You just don't realize it yet. It's because the money's still coming in.
Mm. I think that the key word there for that one, for that number eight for me is depend. The fact that depending. I think that,
Mm.
you know, because I know probably most people listening might be like, well, I only got one. What you want me to do? But it's not the fact that you have one that's like, okay, I need to hang my head in shame. But you need to start putting thought on, okay, what am I doing with this money that I'm receiving from this one stream? How can I grow it? How can I either let it grow itself through investments, or what can I do in my free time? How can I combine this time and money to produce more money? And so I think that, just like I said, that word depend, you might, I don't want to say, it almost sounds counterintuitive to say you putting too much energy into your job, but you at your work like it's life or death, and so you're emotionally invested. You're like, man, you're almost like operating out of fear, like I can't lose this. This is my life. Versus you're operating out of a creative freedom to like, okay, I like having this job. I like having this income coming in, but I can pivot if necessary. I got a plan B. And so if you're not there yet, don't panic, but figure out how to get there. Start strategizing.
Financial independence is the motto. Because you said dependent. That man, I'm dependent on that job. So regardless on what happens, I gotta eat it. I gotta take it. Even if you're not in a situation where you're getting fired, where you hear something you don't want to hear, you're not even in position to say, you know what? I don't want to do that. You like, think about it. Think about the times that you were on your job and like real talk, you just like, I don't agree, And nah, I don't want to do that. But and I'm not just saying like walk away, if you're not in the financial situation, but financial freedom, financial independence should be on everyone's radar, or at least everyone should consider it. And it just to make work optional, to also maybe start to explore other things, but it's a journey. It takes time to get there, and all the research that I've been doing into it, and just even my own journey, yeah, it's really important because what happens is you don't realize you don't really realize it until you mess around. Fast forward, when you start getting in those older ages, and then it starts getting harder and harder to find something else, you thinking, dang, I made a huge mistake. I totally neglected financial freedom, and it's hard to recover. It's not as long as you have breath in your body, it's it's possible, but it's not looking so good. It's not looking so good. But man, man. Dependent. You hit my when you say I'm depending on daddy for a check.
Yeah.
Oof. Ah, it's rough, man. That's rough. But it's real, man. It's real. So speaking of financial freedom, I think this is a good segue for the next topic that I have.
That was a good list, though. I like that.
Can you see it? So you should see it now.
I see a financial samurai.
Cool. So this is the financial independent, when they talk about financial independence, the fire community, like that whole thing. So I thought this was cool. I bring it to the community. Why cash flow is more important than net worth.
Mm. Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna hit some high points, then we gonna turn it off. But I just wanted to bring some good content to the people. Net worth is often an illusion that only helps to boost your ego when times are good. When times are bad, calculating your net worth loses its appeal because it mostly hurts your ego.
That's funny. I like that.
During
Okay.
an economic downturn, if you don't invest in cash flowing assets, your portfolio will likely underperform, meaning your stock portfolio, your investments. If your investments also have weak balance sheets, then they will likely underperform even further. And so the starkest difference during a during a bear market is between growth stocks and dividend stocks. Therefore, if you are a growth investor, it's important to take some profits when times are good to capture the outperformance. Otherwise, growth investors won't ever be able to capitalize on their investments since they receive no dividends.
Mm.
Okay. So now, why is cash flow more important than net worth? I'm skipping around just to get to the point. As an individual, your cash flow is what enables you to do what you want. Cash flow is real, whereas net worth is subjective, meaning it's on paper. You can't do anything with it. It's on paper until you sell something. Do you include the value of your do you include the value of your personal residence in your net worth? Of course you do. So you calculate your net worth on a pre-tax or post-tax. They're just getting a little too that's getting pretty technical. Let me just keep going. I understand that, but I mean that's not the point of what I'm looking to come across here. Here, yes. Sure, if you've accumulated a large enough net worth that produces zero income, you could simply draw down principal to fund your lifestyle. I'm moving something out of the way real quick. Hold on a second. There we go. The main the main exception. Okay, many do. However, this path is riskier and less reliable. Okay, so let me repeat that. Let me repeat that.
Mm,
If you accumulate a large enough net worth that produces zero income, you could simply draw down principal to fund your lifestyle. Many do. However, this path is riskier and less reliable because if your net worth produces no income, then it most likely consists of more volatile assets. The main exception are we're gonna skip that. We don't need to talk about that. My favorite free cash flow investments, real estate. The most I love real estate and blogging the most because they are two assets that produce strong cash flow. While valuations multiplies, expands, and contracts, I'm busy focusing on free cash flow and creation to pay for the lifestyle I want. Now we get into the financial independence, baby. Yeah. Real estate is my favorite cash flow investment, partly due to the steadiness of its rental income. Everybody needs a place to live during the good times and bad times. And by the time leases are over, bear markets are usually over as well. All right. Second favorite free cash flow investment, online businesses. Other
mm.
attractive cash flow investments is large cap dividend yielding stocks with a strong balance sheet. Net worth is more of a momentum measuring stick.
Okay, I like that breakdown of it, of net
The
worth.
biggest the biggest benefit of a large net worth, the larger your net worth, the more confident you feel about your finances. However, just like tech stock can lose a tremendous amount of their value overnight, it's dangerous to be overly confident about your estimated net worth. But I'm gonna stop there because really I wanted to get to the point of like just talking about financial independence, financial freedom. You know, you had a fire community, all of that, and so I wanted us to. So the grand reveal, I wanted to start to incorporate that that content and subject matters so we can talk through that because often too long we've been relying on some of the traditional ways, not to say that it doesn't work, but will it get you to the desired outcome that you're looking for? What the worst thing that you can do in life is you are expecting a certain type of outcome, but you're going down a wrong path.
Mhm.
You're expecting Lamborghini results, but you're driving in a Ford Escort.
Yeah, right.
It's two different. You're in the wrong vehicle, but didn't realize it. So when you hear that from a Gen Z perspective, from an Ivy League perspective, as having future pursuits, future goals, how does that make you begin to think about your finance? Or you could just talk in general, just your overall thoughts about it.
Man, it's definitely it really it kind of makes you have to reshape how you think about financial independence slash retirement because I know for me in the past I've thought of retirement as okay, I need to build up a big lump sum of money and then draw down off of that or or just invest off of that. But I definitely can see what this article is talking about by saying that that's the long route, that's the unsexy route, that's the years and years of compound route. And, and I think it's still a valid route. I think it can still work, but I don't know. I can see. I think I like it shifting the importance to cash flow instead because I think that there's not a lot of problems that increased cash flow can't solve, and like it definitely helps speed up a lot of processes. And I've seen and just been a part of and experienced myself moments of cash flow and no cash flow. And it's just different. I think there was a quote in the article where it said that when you're looking at your net worth in moments of good times, it's to boost your confidence. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm looking at something that I can contribute to versus in moments where, let's say, you don't have any cash flow or cash flow is low. Instead, you're looking at your net worth as something that you're going to have to pull from at some point. And so I
Right.
think that either way, the net worth, like I said, it's just a measuring stick. And so now it's an interesting perspective because I've looked at net worth. I measure my net worth, so I look at like, okay, this is where I'm at right now, and of course the goal is to continue increasing it. But I like this de-emphasization of, okay, we're gonna just build up a lump of money and go sit down and not do anything. And instead, now you got to shift your mind to figure out how can I continue producing value? How can I continue getting people to exchange their cash to me, even as I shift and going to do other things? Or how can I maximize into this one thing that I'm doing? And how can I develop it over just one stream, like what we talked about earlier, not just doing it in one stream, but how can I get creative? That's what's gonna force you to get creative. Like there's some NFL players that if that's all they did, we wouldn't be mad at him. Like, oh, he got a $20 million contract. That's his only stream of income. I get it. I see why he would put all his folks into that. But even some of them, they're able to do endorsement deals on the side and stuff like that. And so we gotta challenge ourselves to figure it out how to get creative.
Yeah. And so the reason I'm excited, and I alluded to it earlier in the show, is I've shifted from paying off the house to focus on that. That's my focus moving forward. And that's my focus only. The net worth is just going to be, we very close to $1 million net worth, but it's again, it doesn't create financial freedom because you don't have the cash flow. It's all on paper
Mhm.
until you start liquidating things and liquidating stocks and
And it's too late by
retirement.
then, by the time you're selling stuff.
And but it hit a little bit different if you have the cash flow coming in,
Mm,
because over time your net worth is going to increase just because of the depreciation of it, whether it be real estate or whatever. Like, and so it's a different way to look at it. Um, it doesn't make the other way wrong. It just depends on, do you want financial independence? Do you want to, excuse me, start to put yourself in position to replace your job income,
mhm.
even when things are good? And so could you imagine 5 years from now where maybe you've covered like half of, like if you're a high income earner, right? Like let's say you're making six figures and you've covered and you have half of that replaced already, right? And then by year 10, and then it can be much soon. I'm just painting a picture. In year 10, you've matched your six-figure income and you still working. So you have both. Imagine that. And so then something happens, then you like, okay, cool. But what if you say, man, what if I don't have 10 years? So what if I don't, well, at the end of the day, the 10 years gonna pass anyway, right? So it's
Right.
like it's either get started or don't. But I'm gonna read off, if you're interested in financial freedom, financial independence, and you want to explore how to increase and boost your cash flow, I have some steps here that's going to help you with that. Allocate more capital towards higher yielding investments. Boost work output and efficiency to get paid more at your existing employer. Because one income stream, that's cash flow. Job hop to a competitor for an immediate pay raise. Because sometimes when you're at your current company, like you're getting those incremental merit increases, but in order to really get a significant pay increase, you have to leave. You basically taking that expertise and taking it to the next company see the value of what you train, what you learn, and you just taking your talents somewhere else. That's how the game works. This one, it says take a second full-time job if you work from home. Have to be careful on that one. May not be allowed though, depending on your situation. Increase rents closer to market levels if you haven't done so in a while. That's if you own real estate and you have renters, you have tenants. Expand a property to generate more rental income.
Mm.
Invest in multifamily properties. Take advantage of higher inflation by investing in I bonds. I won't do that, but I'm just reading off because this is just some things to think about. Start a side hustle that eventually start making money, though. That's a key.
Right.
If it's just the evergreen side hustle and you're not generating any money, then that's not boosting your cash flow. Um, sure, you'll start having write-offs, but you want to put yourself in position to just start generating income if you're really going to be serious about it. Create a new electronic product or physical product. Consult or give private lessons based on your expertise. Basically, just monetizing your current skill set. So those are some examples. Those are some examples uh, from the article. The other thing I'll say is it's just attention, right? What we give our attention to, that's what increases in our life. Focus on your cash flow is the message that I'm getting from that. And the more you can increase your cash flow, the sooner you can get to financial independence, financial freedom. And you might realize you don't need $1 million to do that. Because most people thinking of it from the nest egg perspective, like, well, I need 2.5. I need to accumulate 2.5 so I can use the 4% rule. And yes, like if you're going down the stock path, yeah, you can. But do you have a high enough income that allow you to invest enough? And then also, are you giving yourself enough time? Because you need some time for it to accumulate. I will call out the outliers because I do know a couple people that trade and they got really good at trading. Now that's a different thing. That's not investing, but they have created another stream of income that they actively have to do, but they know how to trade. And so that can fuel what they're doing. If they take that money and do something else with it, but they've developed a high income skill, but most people aren't good at trading. So it's just a matter of understanding who you are, what's important to you, and going down that path and not ever quitting until you get the result that you're after. If you're wanting financial freedom, that's the point. And so the reason I brought that article to you all is to just for exposure. We're on our journey. I'm on my financial independence journey, and so hey, I'm bringing it to you. It's up to you on whether it resonates or not. But you can't. But you know how people always say, "Man, I wish I knew." Well, you're getting exposure to it now, and so you can't get unexposed to it. And also like reach out to people that have reached it. And so we're going to share stories of people that have reached it. And then we're gonna also share stories of people like you ain't gonna ever get there. You keep doing that, and that might not be their goal. And so it just might be an example to highlight of, hey, watch out for these pitfalls of these mistakes.
Man, I think that was. I think that's a good takeaway, man. Cash flow, and it makes me think about, because there's not a one size fits all answer for
Right.
everybody, and even
Yeah.
even on the individual level, what's going to be the right answer for you today might not be the right answer 5 years from now, 20 years from now. It's going to shift, and so it makes me think about. I always talk about seasons. Maybe there are some seasons where you need to focus on that one stream. I always bring up the NFL as just a funny example, but that's just like the first example. Like, okay, maybe you do need to lock in for 8 years and only focus on this, or build your brand up as much as you can in this arena while you have access to it. And so, just in your areas of life, there's gonna be certain seasons where you make more your cash flow is higher than others. That's just a season of business. And so I guess this is just figuring out. You got to figure out what's going to be your playbook. When the defense is letting you run it, how do you adjust your playbook? When the defense is locking up and you got to throw it, or else you ain't gonna score, are you able to adjust? And so, okay, take it off football. I can always go there. When the economy is experiencing high inflation and it's eating up more of your dollars, can you adjust? Do you have enough dollars to adjust for that, or is it gonna put you in a sinkhole? And vice versa. And so when properties, investment opportunities are becoming cheaper because people are scared, do you have the cash flow to be able to take advantage of that? And so I guess that's a good reason why we need to focus on cash flow, because you can have all the net worth in the world, but if you can't pull it out and buy something right away, then it doesn't mean anything to
Cash flow over net worth. Man, that might be a t-shirt, man.
you. I like that.
Cash flow over net worth.
I can see
I
it.
love I
Well,
like it. I like it. Also, well, I had one more in store for us, but we covered a lot. Like I think we covered a lot with the two articles. And if you want a different result, you have to do something different. It doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result is insanity. This is the KB Money Show. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next video, we out of here. We'll catch y'all later.